How do you create a simple image montage in Lightroom? In a recent live stream, I covered the topic of combining a number of images together to create a montage, and I showed how it was really easy to do this in Lightroom. Let's join the live stream at the point when I'm about to demonstrate the technique. And this tutorial, I'm just going to look at how we montage images together in Lightroom. So we're going over to the print module on here, and I've got all my photos at the bottom that I want to use. Stage one is the it's an odd thing, Lightroom. You often have to start at the bottom with these, and right, we're going to print to a JPEG file on there. So we just check down, everything's fine on there. So then over to page setup, and we want A4, and I'm going to do mine landscape portrait format. Why it wasn't showing up as portrait format on the display is anybody's guess. So do that. Yes, it's now done it. Good, which is what I want. Now, I am going to have to come back to that in a moment, but I want to show you the problem first. So you set your page size over there. And even though we're setting out to a JPEG file, we still have to set the page size on that. So now over here, I'm going to do mine with a black background. What I'm going to do with it is I am going to set my page background, switch that on, click on there and set it to black on that. And I want to put 5 images on here. Now, first of all, let's get this set up right. We're going to use what's called a custom package. So I'll click that, and this basically gives me frames that I can use for my images. So I'm just going to, I can choose starting ones on here. I'll click a 5x7, and that will put it on there. I can then size it to whatever I want on that, and we'll say another image over here, and quite like the size on there. And I want a small portrait one, so something like that. Bring that down, and I'm going to bring that along, and I'll just bring another one in over here and along. So that's going to be my 5 images. I'm going to bring something across on there like that. Now, I've deliberately left some space at the top because I want to put a title on it. But one thing you'll notice is I've got this white border around the whole page. Now, why is that? Well, that's because my printer, well, I can actually print borderless with it, but by default, my paper size has an area to it that you can't actually see, that it can't print on. So Lightroom knows about it and creates this white border. There is a way of getting rid of it, and that is simply to select the Microsoft Print PDF. So I do that, keep it at A4 because that's the size I want, and then we've got rid of it. It's as easy as that. So now I've got these borders, these frames, and the next thing I want to think about is, do I want borders on them? So I'm going to say, yes I do, and it's already selected white as an inner border there, and I can then just use this slide. If I select the image I want, I can then just use that How strange. That was working earlier. Maybe it's because I haven't got anything in the... So I'm just going to drag an image into there. Yeah, that's it. It only shows up when the image is actually in there. I can then control the size of the border to what I want. So I said the Welcome to Falklands would be my start image. Then the other pairs of images, Well, I like the arch, so I'm going to put that one in. I think, to give a sense of place, I think Margaret Thatcher, I think I ought to have her in there actually. So I'm just going to pull in that image, and I'm going to sort out how it frames in a little while on here. And then two more, just to give a sense of place with this. Well, I think I've got to have a penguin in it, so I'm going to pick that penguin. And what else from the town? Well, quite iconic in the town is this, which is actually the mast from the SS Great Britain, which is proudly displayed within the town. Now, I don't need the penguin to be quite as large as that. I want a bit more space on there, so I've brought that over. Now, I don't like the fact that those are either side there, so I'm just going to move these around. Unfortunately, that means my penguin's facing the wrong way, because I really would like him looking into the frame, which is the standard way. So what other penguins have I got that I might be able to do that with? So I'll look through here. Most of them are going to be facing that way, I know. Oh, this one will work. So drop him in instead on there. Now, a couple of things with this. I want to reposition these. So the way I do it is click on there and hold the control key down, and I can then move the image within that frame. So I can bring that up to about there. I can move Maggie in a little bit. And again, she's facing the wrong way. I know what I'll do. And you can see with the process of doing these sort of things, sometimes there's a little bit of trial and error. So I'm going to go back to my penguin. That was the one I wanted. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to swap them over and swap Maggie over, I think. So SS Great Britain on there. Bring Maggie over to there. Bring that to there. Now that's a little bit better for me. On there, I need to reposition the penguin into the middle, so hold the control down to get that and move that over slightly, and I think that's more or less it. That's given me that montage of images. Now, I said I wanted the title at the top. Now, there's no way just to put text on in Lightroom with that, but there is a cheat, and that is to use the identity plate. Now I could, as you can see, as I tick that, it's appeared already. I could then drag that up there, my identity plate, and put that across the top as my title. If I wanted to change that, I could come down and say Edit, and I can say use text identity plate, and I'm going to say this is Port Stanley, and I am going to change the font to Anton, which is my standard font these days for anything I do, to that, and if I say OK, now I need to override the colour and make it white. And just adjust the size a little bit. So I've got my caption on there. So that has created it. The final part to it is to say print to file. So I can then go, right, local disk, video, live stream, sense of place, and if I put it in here, I can bring it straight back in, and we'll call it Port Stanley on there. I go back to here. Not the Falkland Islands, it was the other one, it was the Facebook one. synchronize folder, one to import, synchronize. Yep, let's add that in. And there we go, the full final image. All the shots montaged together. So, I mean, that's a very simple and very quick tutorial on how to do it, to do that kind of shot. You can get a bit more inventive with it on there, but that's just quite a nice way of presenting a number of images together just using Lightroom, and how you then pull it back into Lightroom at the end of it. If you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and I'll see you in one of the next videos. On the screen there's a playlist of different Lightroom tutorials and one down below that I personally recommend. So until next time, thanks for watching and keep making great photos. Bye for now.